Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. I urge you not to look in the background of this video too much. I used to have a clothing rack right there and my roommate took it. Anyway, so if you made it all the way to the end of my last video, you will know that Carson and I were talking about New Jersey.
Let's talk about Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I think I want to move to Jersey next. Isn't that
Actually?
really? Yeah, isn't that really controversial?
Well, I haven't been to New Jersey. Maybe that's where we should go next.
That's next.
So I decided we should go. And so we did. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Also give you my thoughts about what he was saying, you know, like, would I want to live in Jersey? So we both live in Brooklyn and we had to go into Manhattan to take the ferry. There are several trains you can take from New York to New Jersey, but we just thought it would be fun to take the ferry. We took the ferry from, oh gosh, I can't remember the exact place in Tribeca in Manhattan, and then we took it to Hoboken, and it was like $7, and literally we were the only people on this ferry. There were 3 crew members and there were 2 passengers, and we were the 2 passengers. Pretty much we paid like $7 to get like a private yacht, and wow, to put it simply. I mean, it was gorgeous. It was a lovely day. I mean, we were getting amazing views of the city, views of like the Statue of Liberty, and the water was just so beautiful, and it was truly like, I don't know, it was such a fantasy, especially because we were alone. I would imagine that, you know, outside of COVID times and during rush hour, there'd be a lot of people, but I mean, it was so cool to just be doing that ourselves. But like, if you worked in Tribeca in Manhattan and lived in Hoboken, oh my God, that would be like the best commute ever. It would be so fun. I mean, you're just like outside and your hair's flying. You're feeling like a little bit like Titanic. I had a wonderful time on the ferry. The ferry alone almost made it worth it. And then we got our land legs and went to this little park on Pier C. It's called Pier C Park. Hi everyone, we're here in Hoboken at Pier C.
Pier C. Pier C.
And there's a playground on Pier C, apparently for children, but I'm a child at heart.
I find it hard to believe this is only for children. It's enormous. It's the biggest playground I've ever seen. I feel like I'm in the movie of Cats. Like, everything is enlarged.
And wow, literally best playground of all time. It felt like it was an adult playground, even though it is for kids. It felt really adult. It was huge. There definitely were some weird aspects. There was like this weird sand pit that you like put water down to make like a mud pit. Like, I don't really understand the concept of that. I'm not trying to judge anyone's art, but I don't know, I wouldn't want my child like playing in the sand mud pit. I don't understand what good this does. I would just like be like, please don't go in that pit. Sand is annoying when it's dry, it gets everywhere, and when it's wet. Anyway, it also had this really big slide that like felt like a little bit too intimidating for a child, or maybe I'm just baby and like I like, you know, got butterflies before I went down it. I also ate shit at one point. If it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, Mike. What? How did that happen? And they also had this spinny thing that was really fun. No!
That's it. You're not on my zombie apocalypse team.
But yeah, then we went to like one of the main streets in Hoboken. I really loved it. It felt sort of like New England towny, even though it's super accessible to New York. And there were these cute little shops all over town. We went to this record store that was really cute, and not only cute, but also cool. It kind of had, you know, there were cool people in town. And also we went to the bakery from Cake Boss. And we got to take the ferry home again. This time there was one other person on the ferry, so it wasn't quite private. But at night, I mean, it was just a completely different experience. It was so pretty with the lights shining. The city looked so beautiful. I honestly don't know which ferry ride was better. They were just so pretty, and like the moon was out. Man, I mean, it was like a really special day for me. I had such fun. So I realized that I literally spent like half the day in New Jersey, and some people don't even really consider Hoboken to be like New Jersey because it's really just kind of an offshoot of New York. You know, like people live there and mostly commute to New York for work. But I'll say it. I would like to live in Hoboken. Yes, Carson is right. It's very cute. I think it's cheaper than a lot of like the really nice areas of Manhattan. I think it's probably more expensive than many parts of Brooklyn. Like I'm sure it's more expensive than where I'm living now, in Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn. But you're also getting like pretty much the view of New York City and a waterfront view. So still quite expensive. I probably couldn't afford to live there, but you know, maybe one day. There definitely are some drawbacks though. It seemed really white. I didn't really see that much diversity there. Also, it did seem a little bit more conservative. I saw a couple like Trump flags and signs, which, you know, I think on the whole, it's actually very liberal. But it seemed a little more conservative than like New York City. And because I've like never seen a Trump sign in Manhattan or Brooklyn. So just interesting to note. I guess that also probably goes hand in hand with the whiteness of it. You know, white people tend to vote for Trump quite often. Anyway, another drawback also is that I feel like it's harder to get to Brooklyn from New Jersey. Most of my friends live in Brooklyn, so if I were to live in New Jersey, it just wouldn't really make too much sense unless my friends lived there or lived in Manhattan. It's pretty easy to get into Manhattan from Jersey, but to get into Brooklyn, it's kind of a trek. But on the whole, it was very cute. I feel like it would be a good place to have like a little family. It felt very, I don't know, cutesy towny, which I think is good for, I don't know, having a family, just because having a child like in New York City sounds a little bit crazy. I mean, I know a ton of people do it and do it successfully, but to me, like, I don't know, a little bit more of a outside the city and like super easy to get into the city when you want sounds ideal. But I mean, this is literally like based on like 6 hours of being in New Jersey. So don't trust me. I want to hear what you think in the comments. I don't know if you guys have been to New York City and been to New Jersey before. Would love to hear your thoughts. But that's it for me today. I really hope you guys are well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.